If tonight is your first time to come across this channel, you are welcome to MBRUKZ Insight. This teachings breaks down the concept of income illusion, how steady earning can create a false sense of progressing while financial position remains unchanged. So the objective of this lesson tonight is to explain how income, when not structured, becomes temporary, how lifestyle observe growth, and how individuals can work consistently yet remain financially vulnerable. So this lesson also provides clarity on how to move from earning to building, so that income does not just support the present, so that income does not just support your present time, but secures your future. If tonight is your first time to come across this channel, you are welcome to MBRUKZ Insight. There are real stories where people earn well in one season of their life, enjoys comfort, lives fully, and appears stable. But here is the case. There is a moment in life that humbles many people, and it does not come when they are broke. It comes when they realize that after years of earning, there is nothing solid to show for it. Not because they never had money, but because everything they earned passed through their hands without building anything that could stand when income stopped. This is what I call the illusion of income. And what is the illusion of income? The belief that earning is the same as progressing. It feels like movement at first. It looks like success at first, but underneath, there is no foundation being built. And when reality comes, it doesn't ask how much you earned. It reveals what you kept. Reality becomes visible. Suddenly, no structure, no reserve. This is not because the income was insufficient, but because it was not directed properly. This is where the illusion becomes clear. Income gave the appearance of progress, but without orientation and investment, it left no lasting result. This is not a rare situation, but it is very common pattern in a consumption-driven environment that we are living today. For the purpose of this lesson tonight, I will uncover few ways in which this illusion works in our lives. Number 1, when your income flows without asset formation. When your income flows without asset formation, this is how money moves without building. Because income creates movement, but movement is not the same as growth. When your money is earned and immediately spent, it flows through life without forming any assets. So know this tonight. Assets are what remains. Savings, investment, skills, ownership. And without this, income becomes temporary. Without this, the illusion exists because movement feels like progress at first, but without asset formation, there is no foundation. Because income creates movement, but asset creates stability. Number 2, lifestyle absorption effect. This is how earnings are consumed by living standards. In the world where we are living to chase trends, and where chasing of trends are more than our personal ambitions. So lifestyle absorption effect is what is silently pushing us into income illusion. As income increases, lifestyles are adjust to match its performance. We need better housing, comfort, convenience, social spending. This adjustment absorbs the income, leaving little room for saving or investment. Over the time, the individual feels financially stable, but in reality, they are simply maintaining a lifestyle that depends entirely on continued income. And continued income is a system trap that will leave you astray if anything happens to the source of that income. Number 3, false financial security. This is how stable income creates the illusion of stability. And you think you are stable. You think everything works fine and works better. You think you can get anything that you need. Because consistent salary can create confidence. Because consistent salary can create confidence. Even when there is no financial backup, as long as money is coming in, everything feels controlled. But this stability is dependent, not independent. The moment income is interrupted, the lack of structure becomes visible. This is where so many people get into that frustration. Because the moment the source of the income is interrupted, then the lack of structure becomes visible to you. Because true stability is not income, it is what remains without it. So remember, income gives comfort, but only structure gives security. Number 4, consumption priority bias. This is very important. This is how spending overrides building. In many cases in our time today, spending is prioritized over building. Immediate needs, desires, and social pressure to take precedence over long-term planning. This has created a lot of patterns where money is used to maintain the present rather than prepare for the future. Over the time, this bias ensures that nothing accumulates. Because we are living in a cycle system that keeps us running in the same cycle to meet up the daily needs, forgetting our ambitions. Because when we keep chasing trends, we have to live in the standard to meet up what people would say. then when we are living in people expectation, we are indirectly living in financial illusion, in income illusion, because one day we'll turn back and look at it, and then we see that we were sustained with no structure the moment this financial source or the income source is interrupted. Number 5, lack of financial allocation. Not a clear allocation system. It's either savings or either investing or reinvesting. Income has no direction. It's ready to respond to whenever demand arises. This reactive approach ensures that money is always used but never structured. So allocation is what turns income into progress. Because what is not allocated intentionally will be spent unconsciously. Number 6, delayed consequence mechanism. This is how reality appears later. The illusion persists because consequences are delayed. For a long time, everything seems fine. Income flows, lifestyle is maintained. But you know what? When circumstances changes, when jobs shift, when location shift, the absence of preparation becomes clear. When the income source is interrupted, the absence of proper planning becomes clear. The systems allow the illusion to continue until a disruption reveals the truth to you. This is how so many of us got into the trap of income illusion. So for the purpose of this lesson tonight, I uncover a few ways this illusion traps us into a long-term suffering. Number 7, emotional spending patterns. This is how feelings influence financial outcomes. Emotional spending patterns. This is how feelings influences financial outcomes. There are so many people who are out there say, "Oh, I don't spend my money in clubs, I don't go to parties, I don't spend my money in design or whatever. I don't spend my money in women, I don't spend my money with men. I don't spend my money in humanizing, I don't spend my money in whatever reason." You think you always plan. I don't smoke, I don't drink. But there's something that is trapping you that you don't know. Emotional spending patterns. There are so many people that are so prone to touching words. So this allows them to spend easily, because when they are not allocated their finance or their income, it becomes so easily for them to spend whenever they are being prone to. Emotional spending patterns. This is when spending is often driven by emotion rather than logic? Is it celebration? Might be from pressure, might be from stress, social expectations, societal applause. To prove yourself, to show so much concern. Or what will people do? Even without you, people will still continue. All this influence how money is used. Because when financial decisions are emotional, they lack consistency and they lack structure and they lack long-term direction, and continue to keep you in a cycle of expecting income and not from what is reproductive, but in a trap that the day that income source is disrupted, the reality comes to your eye very clear. You meet the reality that there was no structure that formed earlier for your freedom. So this leads to the pattern that favors consumption over growth. So when financial decisions are emotional, they lack consistency and long-term direction, because this leads to the patterns that favors consumption over growth. So remember that emotional spending builds moments, not futures. You are spending on today, the people you are trying to overtake, the people you are trying to take along today, one day they will still ask you, what did you do over the time? But when you solicit your structures, those structures will speak for you and you remain without regretting. Number 8, dependency on active income. Dependency on active income. Active income is just like a one-way to depression. One-way active income is one way to depression. This is how earning becomes only support system. Because when no asset or reserve are built, income becomes the only support system. So at that time, this creates dependency. So at this point, this creates dependency. Remember, life continues only as long as income continues. Then there is no buffer, there is no backup, and there is no alternative. This is where the illusion becomes dangerous, because it hides the absence of independence. Take note. So while you are spending for pressure, while you are spending for approval, while you are spending to prove yourself, while you are spending for societal applause, while you are spending to chase trends, to meet along, to be carried along, while you are spending to be seen and to be known, take a time and ask yourself a question. In what direction is my income going? Is it structural? Do I have structure that can assure me tomorrow? Do I have structure that can reproduce tomorrow? Do I have structures that if this income source ends today or tomorrow, do I have structures that can reproduce, that can keep me until I have something better? This is where people get stuck. This is where a lot of people get into this income illusion trap. This is where so many people get into this income illusion traps. because the active income, because they depend on the one-way active income, and the day it disrupts, that income source disrupt, they becomes frustrated. So tonight, remember this. To break the illusion, your income must be structured. To break the illusion, your income must be structured. So to break the illusion, your income must be structured through income allocation strategy. It can be 50% to 60% living expenses. It can be 20% to 30% savings and investment. It can be 10% to 20% personal and flexible spending. Because this creates balance, ensuring that not all income is consumed. Because structure is what turns income into progress. So tonight, remember that every income cycle should contribute to something that remains. And how can this become easy for you to understand? Through asset-oriented thinking. So this is the way you can build beyond your income. Every income cycle should contribute to something that remains. Could be savings, can be businesses, can be skills, can be investments. Because this shift focus from earning to building. Because income becomes a tool, not the destination. It is your hand that you will use your income to design your destination. Design the structure of your income. Design your structure that you want to be free from income dependency to independence. Then after this, how to prepare for income disruption. So if you ask yourself today, what if something happened to the source of my income tomorrow? What if something happened to that place I get my salary, to that place I earn every month, to that place I earn every week or per day? What if something happened to that place? Preparing for income disruption is through future positioning. Every financial strength is measured by resilience. The ability to survive without immediate income. And this requires reserve. This requires low dependency. And this required controlled lifestyle. Then preparing for uncertainty will remove the illusion and replace it with stability. Remember, wealth is not what you earn, it is what protects you when earning stops. So reposition your lifestyle today. Replace your lifestyle spending today with reproductive assets, with reproductive structures, things you can rely on if anything disrupts the source of your income tomorrow. There are so many stories of people who earn well but later struggling. This is not always a story of failure. It is often a story of misunderstanding how money works. So awareness is what changes this pattern. Because once you understand that earning is only the beginning, earning is only the tool that you can use to design your reproductive structure. you begin to direct your income differently. You begin to build, not just to live, not just to chase trend, not just to gain societal applause, not just to gain people's approval. Because the day you will be regretting, those people will not be there. Few can only say, oh, but the day you are regretting, those people you are spending on, those things you are chasing will not be there for you. And that shift, the illusion ends. And that will help you to avoid the income illusion. Because income can change your present, but only discipline can secure your future. If tonight is your first time to come across this channel, you're welcome to MBRUKZ Insight. Every night we meet here in our night podcast, where we are meeting here in our night podcast, we discuss human development. Until next time.